Eternal Battlegrounds. You most likely know this game from the videos you've maybe seen on YouTube from different YouTubers. It has been heavily criticized for it being a parry-based Battlegrounds game. It has been made by Uzu, the creator of YBA, which abandoned his game to create this cash grab, as Eclipse would call it. Now let's dive deeper into it. Why did Eternal Battlegrounds fail miserably while other Battlegrounds games didn't? So in this video, we're gonna see first what does EBG lack, and then what Battlegrounds games usually have and why do the people don't like it. Let's go. So what does EBG lacks? EBG lacks the classic PvP experience that player wants. I personally don't play a lot of Battlegrounds games, even though there's me playing Heroes Battlegrounds in the background. Mainly, people want the classic Battlegrounds true M1 experience. That's what they're looking for. And that's what EBG lacks, because they tried actually to be creative. They tried to go out of their way to make a parry-based Battlegrounds games, to make a mix between YBA and Battlegrounds games. But it failed miserably because of the fact that a lot of bugs occurred during the making of the game. First of all, the game was buggy and the game didn't function properly, since people could become invincible by just doing some certain things and the game bugging out. Second of all, people are not used to a deep-woken PvP, which in my opinion is a very good PvP, because they prefer to hold block, walk back and wait for the opponent to charge. That's what they do. That's what people usually do. They hold block and then, like I'm doing in the background of the video. And that's what people do. They just hold block and they just walk back. So people didn't like this, since you had to actually parry to win your fight. You could also block. So that's not a big no-no, right? But people still didn't like it because the PvP didn't feel as smooth butter as they wanted, because basically the game didn't have some proper M1 system where if an M1 string ends, your character gets stunned for a short amount of time. In the game, you can infinite M1, which is not the case in Deepwoken. In Deepwoken, when you end your M1 string, even though your character ends up a bit stunned, you cannot move, but you can still parry. In this game, you can just spam M1s, and if the guy doesn't know how to parry your attacks, then he's basically doomed. He's destroyed. So that's why people didn't like it. And second of all, maybe the lack of moves, or maybe functioning moves, was the case. Because as you can see, maybe I'm gonna put something in the background. Gojo's red, where he throws it and it makes people linger onto it. Basically, it's glitchy. It doesn't have any animation when you get into the red. So you're just like going off the map with no animation and just a big red ball inside of you. That's a bit weird to say, but yeah. So what do people want? They want their classic Battlegrounds experience. They want to just go in, maybe learn the 4 moves they have at their disposal, and then they just do the same things they do in other Battlegrounds games with barely no changes to the mechanics used in the game. And if they can use a mechanic that other Battlegrounds games use, then they're gonna use it because maybe it's overpowered in this game. But if it doesn't, then oh, the game has no text, the game is bad, the game is slop. I don't think a game is slop because a Battleground game doesn't have all of the mechanics or the text TSB has, because every PvP is different. Every developer has its way to reproduce a Battlegrounds PvP. But it's not normal to call a game trash because it has no similarities to what you're used to in your classic Battlegrounds experience. So yeah, people are still doing the same things. They like their classic Battlegrounds experience and they don't want to get out of it. And I know some people who play Battlegrounds games every fucking day. I don't know how they do not get bored by the actually same PvP, you know? It's like you use the same moves again and again and again and again. It's like at some point it becomes boring. I'm sorry. Okay, it's magnificent. Okay, it's very visually pleasing and a lot of dopamine rushes into you when you use that one move that everyone wants to use. But like, it shouldn't be like so complicated to play some actually good game. Maybe if a game has worse graphics than your TSB, then you shouldn't be so harsh with the devs. Maybe it's a graphic style they actually love. For example, Deepwoken. I'm taking an example, Deepwoken again, but you know my point. I like Deepwoken Deepwoken. They have a basic VFX, particles, animation style. Because when I didn't play Deepwoken, at first I was like, oh, this animation is looking not very smooth or not very good. It could be upgraded, you know? Because I was so used to like super duper animation, super stylish animations with a lot of explosions and a lot of bang, boom, bang punches, you know? But now that I've no Deepwoken, my standards are a bit lower, and I'm fine with that. Since a game can be good even though it has maybe worse graphic than the standard graphic people usually want. So I don't think people, you know, should do more Battlegrounds games because the market is overloaded. It's like simulators in 2017. It is the same thing. It was overloaded with simulators, and simulators were the way people would make money, and now the way to make money is by making Battlegrounds games with a lot of good graphics. So yeah, that's about it. I finished my rambling. I hope you enjoyed maybe this short video, and I'll see you in the next one with hopefully maybe Deepwoken. See ya!